Hey, what's going on there, everybody? This is Sammy Leggett here representing TeamJVS, here to give you guys a movie review. One of the biggest films this year, literally 3 hours and 7 minutes long. A amazing cast, a lot of design, a lot of stunts. One of the best action and heartfelt films I've seen this year. Now, this is a Tollywood film, which I'll go into what that means, the difference in Bollywood and Tollywood. Bollywood is based on Hindu language, but it is in the industry of India. Tollywood is South India, if that makes any sense, just so you can get an interpretation of that. But I'm talking about RRR. This is Rise, Roar, Revolt. You guys have no idea how many times I've redone this all over again. This was directed by S.S. Rajamouli. I did get to talk to him a bit. I'll go into that a little bit later, but I'm just gonna go straight into it with what the background is. You have Bahim, played by N.T. Rama Jr., and you have Raju is played by Charan, Teja. Now, the first individual we see is Raju. He is working for a certain government, and there is a riot going on around him. And all of a sudden, you know, his instructor is like, I don't like this. This isn't cool. Somebody go and deal with somebody that just threw something like a brick or something and knocked something down. This man goes, and I mean hundreds of people around him, and with zero fear, there's no breaking him mentally or physically, goes out and searches this man out. Now, I'm gonna just make sure you picture this, because I normally don't do this, but I need to give you guys perspective. If you haven't seen the movie, or you don't know what I'm talking about, if you've never seen the trailer, this man, even in the way they shot it, like all of a sudden he takes his hat off, steps his foot down, grabs his baton, jumps over the fence. Like, this is about 12-foot fence, jumps over it, goes into a crowd of people there's a mob of people about to knock the fence down, and he just starts to wail on everyone around him, old boy style. So if you ever seen Old Boy, you know, the side scene where he's just like going in front of everybody. It could care less whether or not he gets stabbed or hurt or whatever. Same situation, but far worse, because there's so many different actors around this one man, and I'm kind of like, Ram, how long did it take them to actually choreograph and do this? But anyway, he goes into the crowd and he's just starting to go, and he gets to the person, and I'm just like, this is insane. Because just to unpack that, the amount of fight choreography and the amount of people, the amount of stunts and the amount of things and design, how you had to stage all that and how you had to rehearse it, I have no idea how they did that. Matter of fact, I actually brought that up to the director. I'm like, how did you condition these actors to do such things? And then later on, when you see Bahim, when he shows up, first thing you see with him, he's in the jungle trying to catch a wolf. You know, like, just literally just conditioning himself. And like, both of these actors are so committed. Like, the physicality and the lengths that they go with the physicality is insane. But then, like, if you've seen Bollywood, you know that Bollywood, and again, this is Tollywood, just make sure you understand that distinction. There's always dance. There's always, you know, like random things that are happening, and then sometimes there's music going on. There are times where both of these men are performing so well with just dancing. And it's kind of like when it happens, it's not like, oh wow, they just randomly burst out to a dance. Like, no, it was written very well. Like, there's a moment for it. It's not like, oh, okay, they're dancing, you know, in the middle of a fight. No, that doesn't happen. When the action is on, the action is on. And I mean, it can be gory at times, it can be cutthroat at times. And the crazy thing about it is I've yet to talk about why either one of these men are doing what they're doing. Because when you get down to the nitty gritty with it, that's where it is so good. because both Raju and Bahim have layers to them. There's a reason why Bahim is where he is, and there's a reason why he's doing what he's doing. You see it very early in the movie. I'm not going to spoil it. And his conviction behind that is so real. But then with Raju, there's so much animosity, there's so much anger, there's so much almost resentment, and it's almost like a self-loathing kind of thing at times. And he's so much like a direct parallel to each other. But then when they actually meet and interact, is, oh my gosh, you won't expect it. And what it does is it builds up for an altercation that's gonna have to inevitably happen. Ray Stevenson plays a role in this one as kind of like a commander. Scott, I think, is Buxton. Terrible individual. But dude, like, I know I'm saying a lot without saying a lot, but it is so raw. Because when you get to the human element of certain things, like there's a character named Jennifer, played by Olivia Morris. When Jennifer interacts with Bahim, for instance, there's something real going on. There's certain cultural boundaries that they're trying to knock down, but inevitably there's a real fundamental problem. There's a fundamental human problem. And crazy thing is, this takes place in the 1920s, supposedly. And when you really unpack how a certain people is treated and how they're looked at, like when you start to really read the room, it is a very harsh reality. Because even though the spectacle of seeing these men do these amazing feats and amazing action scenes, and like when I say when action is on, oh my gosh, the action is epic. But there's a scene, and I kid you not, Bahim, as a character played by NT, he's bound. That's the best way I can kind of put it. And he is yelling out and singing out, and it is one of the most harshest, beautiful, powerful things I've seen in a very long time. And I've seen some great films this year. I've yet to review certain films, like Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, to use that as an example, which they are very different films. This is a very different but powerful film. There are some there's some serious moments in this that I think are so pivotal. And I think it bows itself to like lineage, blood, sacrifice, brotherhood, companionship, devotion, loyalty, all these different words. They encase RRR as a whole. And every single actor, I mean, whether sometimes some actors are playing over the top and they're just so over the top, it's cheesy, it is what it is. But what's really happening, the reality of what's happening, and the racial bias and the discrimination and the bigotry, the manipulation, the self-entitlement, like all of it is still coming from a very rooted, real place that still is apparent even now today. So I think that there's definitely something for everyone. If you want dancing, you got it. Great dancing. If you want action, you got it. If you want a good story, I think you got it. And I think you got some great, phenomenal actors. And even though it's 3 hours some change, like, you just can't not finish it. You just can't, like, especially when you get going, like, you're like, there is, when I say it's long, there's an intermission point. So do know that. But when I'm thinking about it, it's between a 9 and a 10. I could go and nitpick about the cheesiness of certain characters and certain dialogue with stuff. But at the core of it and what it really means and what it really is, it's power, man. It is powerful. But yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell button. Let me know if you checked out RRR. Thank you guys for watching. Peace, people.